yes, it is all over. And with Tampa Bay's Game 6 victory, the bell tolls, the Bell Center, because you see, the bell tolls on Canada's chances of bringing a Stanley Cup home. Except all the teams left are made of mostly Canadians. I know, shut up. A scrappy Montreal Canadiens team loses 4-2 to the Tampa Bay Lightning. Tampa advances to the Eastern Conference Final, and they will play, I don't know yet. You might know because you're in the future, but when I'm shooting this, it's anyone's series. Habs eulogy first, and then we talk about the Lightning. So anyway, the Habs, otherwise known as Carey Price and his band of merry men. Now, here's the thing. Did Carey Price do everything he could? Did he perform at his absolute best so that Montreal could beat Tampa and move on to the Eastern Conference Final? No, Carey Price was not at his absolute best, and that is why the Montreal Canadiens did not win. Which is what so many Montreal Canadiens fans warned might happen all season long! I've been watching some of the fallout, I've been watching some of the reactions to the Habs getting eliminated, and those of you ripping on Carey Price have a lot of balls. Or how about this? You got a lot of nerve. Oh, even better, the gall. How dare. I mean no disrespect to the Montreal Canadiens. I mean no disrespect to the forwards on the Montreal Canadiens. But I remember vividly, one night, they put the Canadiens roster up on the screen. They showed their 4 forward lines, and out loud I went, ew! They need work! They need a little bit of work. They got Max Pacioretty, Brendan Gallagher's a little, friggin' hate to play him in the playoffs, and even though people rip on Terry, it's also an incomplete work, the Canadiens. And obviously PK Subban's on the back end, and that's big, and they brought in guys like Gilbert and Petrie. Yeah, other than that. Beyond that, Andrei Markov's got some hard miles on him, and Alexei Yamelin seems to be one of the most hated players in the league, and it doesn't necessarily seem to be for good reason. You take an already roster and then add Michel Therrien's kooky little line combinations to it, and it's a team with issues. But hey, you put a world-class goalie in it, and you never know. Look, it's good. You want to win games. You play to win the game, as they say, and you can't fault them for trying to win the games, right? But God, it can be so dangerous. It can really trick you into thinking you're better than you are. See the Leafs goaltending 2 years ago and then last year, which led to this past year. Goaltending takes a dip. No, you aren't, but thanks. And this sounds a little negative. Typical Leaf fan, being negative towards Habs. I don't hate them, man. I'm not typical in that fashion. I just don't have the same hatred for the Montreal Canadiens. In fact, I think I sympathize with the fans because I have more of a frustration with them than anything. I'm not like I was when I was much younger where I had teams that I hated. I just have teams that frustrate me because I go, what are you doing? Why is Barron so scratched again? What are you gouging? It's not a grinder, you idiot! You know, stuff like that. I'm on your side, basically. So my question I will ask you now, Montreal Canadiens fans, what do you gotta do that will make you happy? What do the Habs have to do that will make you happy heading into the next season? And you can't just say, fire Michel Therrien, although you can totally say that if you want. Now, the Tampa Bay Lightning. Here's the thing. 2 7-game series, and you might go, oh, they're going to be all tuckered out. But most of their best players are just these little limitless energy water bugs. I said it at the end of the Detroit series, and it looks like Steven Stamkos is starting to come alive a little bit. Which is scary, because for the past month, he has had a poster of Tyler Johnson in his bedroom. Oh, look at my hero. Palat, Paquette, Killorn. Almost forgot Kucherov. They're not even using Druid! And then you look at Hedman and Stroman on the back end, and you go, oh, that little chestnut. Stick a goalie the size of a Zamboni in net, and all of a sudden, you have a really unpleasant team to play against. And what'll be interesting is the winner of the Rangers Cap series, are they going to make the same mistake that every team seems to make against Ben Bishop in the Tampa Bay Lightning? You know what? Bishop seems to be a flappable goalie, and he's pretty good. Let's crash him! I'll say it again. He led all goalies in the NHL this season with 13 penalties drawn. Ask Montreal Canadiens fans, he continued doing it in these playoffs. I'm not saying don't get in his kitchen, I'm just saying try not to make any contact with him because he might pretend like he's dead. It's funny, before the series I talked about the Lightning's ability to draw penalties, and people were like, yeah, but their power play sucks, so who should worry about that? Yeah? How'd that work out? Pretty good? Listen to me, kids, I know what I'm talking about. Stanko Visor hat. So here's my question. Do you think Tampa Bay, regardless of who they play, the New York Rangers, the Washington Capitals, do you think they have what it takes to make the Stanley Cup final? Because remember how I said sometimes I look at the Habs forwards and go, Well, I look at Tampa's forwards and go, they're that good. So that's it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell all your friends. And oh boy, one more video in the second round.